Hi, this is Paul from Rosie's 1901, 3200 Halls Mill Road in Mobile. We've got a special podcast for you because there's an event coming up on June 28th over in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, that even though it's not something we normally advertise for, even though we do Thunder Beach when it's at Panama City, but there's something that I think everyone needs to know about, and this is a missing parts ride. And at first I thought, missing parts? Is old Harley's running down the road dumping parts? No, it's not. It's actually something very serious. And so we've got some people here today. Number one, Michael Stiver. He's with Law Tigers. He's the one that called and said, hey, we got this coming on. You might want to check this out. And then we've got Dave Riley. Dave Riley, I could sit here for the rest of the program and talk about the accolades that he has, but he is a huge supporter among Veterans Affairs programs, vets themselves, individuals, whatever you need. Dave has stepped in and taken over the reins many times for people and has bettered the lives of veterans everywhere. Now, you might think that missing parts has something to do with motorcycles. It does not. It's about amputees. People that have lost limbs and they're trying to get back out riding again are basically just getting on with their lives. And that is something that is extremely critical, because Dave will tell you that he has seen people, they go from the stage of losing the limb through all the pain, the agony, the rehabilitation, and then when they come out on the other side, that's the important part. That's when they can actually go out and help other people. And that's what this ride is going to be about. It's going to be helping all amputees try to get back out and start riding again, whether it's 2 wheels, 3 wheels, 4 wheels, ATVs, whatever. It's getting them back to the basics of being the way they were. Just because you may lose a limb, you have not lost who you are. And that is a huge point that a lot of people just do not understand. Mike, I'll go ahead and let you talk a little bit about it, because I'm sure you as Law Tigers, y'all have some kind of stake in this as well.
Correct. Yeah. Thank you, Paul, and thank you for having us on here. Glad to be here again. Emerald Coast Harley Davidson reached out to Law Tigers. We have a great relationship with them, and told us they were putting on this ride and asked if we'd like to come on as a sponsor. And of course we did. Something, as you were just eloquently explaining, it's a fantastic ride, fantastic organization, and it's just something we could really get behind. So we were honored to get on there. As part of that, I did get a ride entry, so I was kind of trying to figure out, what we could do with that. I was thinking about doing a giveaway, like, share. You'll see people on Facebook like, share, and you get an entry. And I remember from a couple of years ago at the Mobile Bay Vintage Motorcycle Club, I had met a veteran and Mr. Riley here. He's actually got an old Harley that he's converted and he rides. And so, I kind of remembered that day from a couple of years ago and thought, with that entry, there's something that if Mr. Riley wanted to, it would be something that he should take part in. So I reached out to our mutual friend Rick and Beverly Moritz, let him know what I was thinking, and asked if he'd put me in contact with Mr. Riley, and they did, and called Mr. Riley, and he was on board. So,
well, I tell you what, I've heard a lot of things over the years, but there's one thing I have never heard. I have never heard anybody say Dave said no. If somebody needs Dave, Dave is there. I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's a motorcycle ride, a cookout, or whatever. If he feels like that he can be an asset or a benefit to somebody or an organization, he will do that. Let's look over this. You will have to pardon me for having to put on the glasses, but Justin Danger Nully, Joel Rooker, and Emerald Coast Harley Davidson for the first ever missing parts ride is going to be Saturday, June 28th at Fort Walton Beach to help get amputees the support they need to get back on 2 or 3 wheels. Registration is open, and you were telling me earlier that, in fact, you showed me on their website, they got over 3,000 hits now. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah. So, typically when you're looking at Facebook at a big event, you might see something, 50 people are interested, maybe 100 or 150. There's over 3,000 on this event now. So wow. It's shaping up to be something huge. It's going to be going on all weekend, and it's going to be a blast.
And there's going to be a VIP ride registration, which is going to be $500. It's limited to 50 tickets if you want to be in that. The standard ride registration is $25 and includes the passenger. Normally it's a 25 plus 10 or something like that, but that's included. And then on the 27th, they're having a VIP party, and then the ride in the front of the back with Justin, Joel, Gus, and other VIPs will be there. And the VIP lounge at the post-ride party will be dedicated cash and bar food as well. You can get on their Facebook page. It's the Missing Parts Ride if you're going on Facebook. And so it's going to be 8:30 a.m. registration and check-in, 10:30 a.m. safety brief, 11 a.m. kickstands up. 11 to 1:30 will be the ride itself. 1:30 to 5 will be the post-ride party. And, of course, it'll have a cash bar, food available for donation, live music, 50-50 raffle, and live and silent auctions. And all proceeds benefit the Motorcycle Riding Events of America to support getting amputees, and that's all amputees, back on motorcycles. Now, this motorcycle ride event, this money is designated exactly for this particular purpose.
That's correct.
So that you'll know where your money's going. Sometimes you go on some of these rides and you wonder, where the proceeds go? Well, the proceeds go to the Motorcycle Riding Events of America, which is putting that money back into this amputee program, so you know that your money's going to exactly the right place. Dave, tell us why this ride is important for vets or anybody else who may be, quote, missing parts.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me on. And I'd like to talk a little bit about when you first lose a limb, you go through a little bit of an adjustment period. Some are fairly quick at this adjustment period, and some aren't. And so I was caught early on in my adjustment period. I had a pretty rough one, and they sent me to Winter Sports Clinic in Aspen, and that's what turned me around. But really, it was adaptive sports, or getting out, getting off of the couch. That's the killer among people that are in rough situations, is staying on the couch and just going within. You gotta get off that thing, get out among people and talk to people, because it's nowhere but a downward spiral if you don't. And so after the little post, getting used to being an amputee, and as a quad amputee, it's pretty silly sight you see me ride, because I wouldn't call it ride, but I was able to get into second gear so far, so we'll see how far along I can get on the ride, and hopefully I'll have brakes by then and everything.
Well, the first time I saw you were on the Skegway. Yeah. And he had that thing at full tilt, man. I don't believe it could go any faster. He was leaned over, and here he goes, man. There was nothing stopping him on the Skegway for sure. Well, so I can imagine.
And he's not riding that now. What did you end up?
Yeah, I broke my shoulder on that thing.
Did you really?
Yeah. You forget that you don't have that big old front wheel out in front of you.
No brakes.
No, it's I was going at about 12.5 miles an hour. It jumped off of grass in the deep sand, and it got confused and just shut off.
Oh no!
12.5 miles an hour. So I tried to do the shoulder moped roll, but wasn't having it, and broke my collarbone on it. So, it's a good thing for Mardi Gras going around slow, but I don't think I would take it out, among people very often.
Go ahead.
So where are you riding? What do you ride?
So I bought my Harley in Dudley Perkins in San Francisco, brand new, 1987, and it was my Harley for many, many years until I lost my limbs, and then it's a 1987 Softail Custom, okay. And I had made it a Fat Boy way back before there was Fat Boys, and so then they Harley copied me, so I had to change it back, But it's a trike now. It has the Frankenstein rear end. Redbeard over in Pensacola did it for me, and he did a good job. I just got a few things left to do on it, and then it'll be all ready, a week and a half, 2 weeks away right now.
Yeah, so, awesome. A week and a half. It's going to be here before you know it.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
It should be fun.
Awesome.
The thing that we've got to remember is that this is helping other people. And there are so many people that need help in other ways. We've tried to help vets in the past with, we had a Ukuleles for Vets program that was part of the Guitar for Vets program. And separate, the ukes were just for us. But the thing that we saw was anything that we could do to try to get a vet's mind off of rehabilitation and get the thinking normal again. I am a normal person. I can go out and do anything. All I got to do is put my mind to it and I can get to it. And we see that not only with that, even people that go out and have open heart surgery, or if they've had a heart attack, or they're suffering from diabetes or anything else that they got, any type of cancers that they may have, the biggest thing that you can do to help their peace of mind and to get them back on the healing track again is get their mind off of it and get back to being normal again.
Yeah, as a patient, you're always treated with kid gloves a lot, and getting out among fellow, having a little bit of camaraderie among fellow, what do they say? Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
And I think that's true.
I think these programs have helped out more than people will ever know, and it's what they tell you at the vets hospitals too. You need to get back out. You remember there was a program that the vet couldn't get into, whatever. I think it's an NCIS program, and they got it because he could play guitar. And so they got him to playing guitar again when he didn't even want to get out of bed. And so the guitar was actually, then he joined a little band at the vet's hospital and stuff like that and got back to normal. The motorcycle, especially for people that have ridden all their lives and all of a sudden they can't ride anymore, they think, well, what am I supposed to do now?
It's huge.
And
it can be devastating.
It can be. And especially for people that have loss of limbs, heart attacks, open heart surgeries. A lot of these people don't think they'll ever be able to ride again. I had a heart attack back in 2007, and I'm thinking, am I going to be able to ride again? My wife was not really for it at the time, but I wasn't going to stop. And so we kept riding together, and then we got over that hump and found out, hey, the heart attack wasn't as severe as we thought, and I was back to normal quickly. But I don't care it can be anything that knocks you off your horse for a minute that you got to get back up on that horse and start riding again.
Yeah. Took me 30 years, but
well,
but you got back.
Yeah, welcome back, man.
Yeah. But the thing is, this is a very worthwhile program, and like I say, we normally don't do things for Florida because there's not a lot of people that's going to leave Mobile and run over there, except maybe for something like Thunder Beach. This ride here is well worth its time. You got 3,000 people already interested. It's no telling how many people are going to be there. This could wind up being one of the biggest rides that we've had on the Gulf Coast in years. Yep. We used to have some pretty big rides with the Angel Ride over here in Fairhope years ago. But we haven't had a ride like that in a long time. I'm hoping for the 3,000 people that show up and we just shut everything down while people are riding on this ride and giving this money back to the people that need it and need that little push. It's not necessarily so much they need to help with the motorcycle or that type of thing. There's not a lot of technical expertise. How do you fix up a motorcycle for hand controls and foot controls and stuff like this? The expertise that you can buy with the money is well worthwhile. And the people now that we've talked about, he talked about the company over in Pensacola that got him ready. Guess what? Now you've got a resource that if you're in that, diabetics that have lost their legs. I know a guy that lost both of his in the group that I ride with, and he had hand controls, man. It was not going to stop him. But he went through that depression stage as well, just like everybody else does. Got anything you'd like to close with?
No, just a lot coming on. I did find out, got an email today. We'll be going to Sturgis.
Oh, good.
So just looking forward to that. I'll find out about that. So we'll see what that's about. But no, that's full motorcycle season. There's events everywhere, every night now. So just, get out, have some fun, and support the community.
And if you don't know where we are, we're on 3200 Halls Mill Road. We're right behind Hank Aaron Stadium, just around the corner from Costco at Satchel Page and Halls Mill Road. Stop by and see us. We'd like to have you, even if you're not looking for a motorcycle. If you want to talk vets, you want to talk motorcycles, you want to talk aviation, you want to talk photography, you want to talk podcast, whatever you want to talk about, we're glad to have you here because that's why we're here, is try to help people out, especially bikers. So do not forget, June the 28th, we have the Emerald Coast Harley Davidson Motorcycle Riding Event of America, and Justin Nunley, you were talking about him a while ago, which is, he's got to be a character. He's got to be a character.
He's got some videos on their Facebook page.
Yep,
If you're interested in, check it out.
So you can head out there and find out. But anyway, that's coming up on June the 28th over in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. And don't forget, if we can help you out with anything, give us a call at Rosie's 1901, 3200 Halls Mill Road in Mobile.